What's up, everybody? Rowe here again with the Living in Minneapolis team. Today we're going to talk about some of the frequently asked questions that I get when people are thinking of making a move within the state or making a move from out of state. So stay tuned if you want to hear what those questions and answers are. No time is going to be wasted. We're going to get right into this with question number one, which is, Jade, where should I look to live if I'm looking to or planning on working in the downtown Minneapolis area? That's a really good question, and it's going to depend on a lot of factors, all right? First factor is going to be, do you have a car, or do you want to have a car? Do you want to, be able to drive to places? Do you want to be able to drive out of the city, or you're going to be more reliant on public transportation or a bike or just walking, right? Because if you don't plan on having a car, then obviously you're going to want to look at condos or single family homes, townhomes that are really, really, really close to the downtown area. Most of the property for sale in the downtown area that's walkable is going to be condos. There's not any houses available. You do have some kind of really, really close by, but those can still be a walk depending on where you're working within the city. If you don't plan on, walking, relying on public transportation, well, then it's going to depend on what maybe your interests are, what school districts you're looking at, how far of a commute do you want, because the West Metro has, a lot of lakes like Lake Minnetonka, and that's where I live. I love the West Metro, but I also like the East Metro. East Metro has easy access to Stillwater and Wisconsin. So if you want to go over to Wisconsin or Stillwater or Hudson, which are nice areas, maybe you should look at the East Metro. If you're looking more towards Lake Minnetonka and Wayzata, you should look on the West Metro. Both sides of the city, depending on where you live, are going to be maybe a 20 to 30 minute drive to the downtown area, but it's going to depend on what you're looking to do. Also, the airport is directly south of downtown. So if you're a person that needs to get access to the airport a lot, that's also going to be something that you should consider. How far do you want to live away from the airport? I currently live about 30 minutes, and I live in the northern part of Plymouth. If you look up Plymouth, where that is, I'm on the northern side of that, and that takes me about 30 minutes to get to the airport. It could take me even longer if the traffic is really bad. So where you should live is going to depend on other situations. Like, do you want a car? Do you want to explore the suburbs? Are you a suburb person, or are you really interested in just downtown living? Because there is plenty of things to do in downtown. You have all you need. You have gyms, you have restaurants, you have grocery shops, you have coffee shops, you have breweries, you have entertainment, you have everything you need. It's just whether or not you want that downtown city condo life, or do you want to live more in an actual suburb, townhome, or single family home. So that's going to be kind of the first question answered, and some of my thoughts to answer that question. Question number two on our list is going to be, hey Jade, what's the weather like in Minnesota? All right, I get that one a lot. Let's hit the nail on the head here. Let's get the obvious one out of the way first. Obviously, it is very cold here in the winter. We do have very brutal winters that, can start beginning of December and last all the way until about April at times if we have a really snowy winter. December isn't too bad usually when it comes to just cold. It obviously is cold enough below freezing where, it's going to snow outside, but it's not, excruciatingly cold, all right? It's not below zero. January, especially January and February, can get really, really cold. This last winter of 2023 to 2024, it was a pretty mild winter. We barely got any snow. It stayed in like the 40s the entire time, 40s to 20s. We might have had maybe 1 or 2 weeks where it kind of got a little cold, but nothing like other years where we've seen -10, -20, maybe even -30, I think, below wind chill with the wind. So it does get really cold here in the winter, all right? But as soon as we get out of that winter, you have, April, depending on how the winter is, you have May, you kind of have that spring, those spring months, which can be really, really beautiful. A lot of rain usually happens during that time, getting towards that summer, but it's in that 50s to 60s, 40s, 40s to 60s range there. enough for a sweatshirt and maybe, a raincoat to get up into the spring or through the spring. Once you hit kind of that June, middle of June, July especially, all the way to kind of the end of August, you're gonna experience an awesome summer. I mean, Minnesota summers are great. I love the summer in Minnesota. It's literally so awesome. I mean, you have the lakes you just go and explore. You have them to swim in, you have them to paddleboard, you can do whatever you want, but they're everywhere. I mean, I usually go for a run and then I'll hop in the lake because it's right next to my house. I don't live on a lake, but I literally can walk to a lake. I mean, it's amazing, right? But the temperatures can vary from, low 70s all the way up to 110 degrees. We can get really, really hot. It's not necessarily humid hot, it's kind of that more like dry, just like, strong heat, but it's not like a humid hot that we get here in Minnesota. And as soon as you get past, that August, September and October and November are your fall months. Fall here is also amazing. One of my favorite times of the year, just because the colors are beautiful. It's still really, really nice out where you're gonna be having a lot of 60-degree weather, where 60, maybe even 70, but really just 60s, where it's starting to cool off a little bit. But for us that live here in Minnesota, I mean, it's a t-shirt, it's maybe a long sleeve, it's some shorts. Really, really beautiful. It doesn't rain much. It's just a really calm, nice time of the year. So that's what the weather is like. We have all 4 seasons here. You get to experience all of them in chunks, which I do enjoy. Like, as soon as summer's done and we go into fall, like, there are parts of me that enjoy the winter, and I want to look forward to that. And then in the winter, us here in Minnesota, we all kind of just kind of cross arms once we hit that really brutal part of the winter, and we all just are looking forward to the spring and summer months. So I kind of like that just flowiness of the season versus just always being the same. That's my personal opinion, but that is how the weather is here in Minnesota. All right, quick little pause and break here in the video. If you are finding this helpful, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a lot. If you have any more questions about, what it's like to live in the Minneapolis area or Minnesota in general, drop them down below or reach out to me anytime. I would love to be of service to you. If you are moving here, if you are just wanting some questions answered, feel free to reach out. Call me, text me, email, whatever you would like, all right? Also, if you do have any ideas on, more videos or questions that you have, please drop that comment down below on, hey, what are some questions that you have? Because I can make full videos on those questions that you guys have. So again, really, really appreciate you watching the video. If it is helpful, subscribe to the channel. I would love to see that. Enough of that, we will get back into the video right now. The third question I get asked a lot is, hey Jade, what is there to do in Minnesota? What does the entertainment look like within the metro area and the state? Well, that's a obviously very loaded question, but I can tell you that we do have a lot of options. If you're a sports fan, we have 4 professional sports teams here. We have the Minnesota Vikings football, we have Minnesota Wild hockey, we have Minnesota Timberwolves basketball, and we have Minnesota Twins for baseball. So you have sports throughout the entire year to go up to. We also have minor league baseball, the Saints, which is super fun. That's in St. Paul. There's a lot of different options when it comes to that. If you're more of, a golfer, for example, there's tons of golf courses within the state. If you're a lake person, there's tons of lakes. You can go swimming on them. You can paddleboard, you can kayak, you can canoe, you can go fishing on them. There's tons of options there. If you just want to lay on the beach in the sun, lots of options there. If you're a brewery type person, there's tons of breweries and distilleries to go to and explore and try different ones and try different areas. If you're a foodie, there's tons of small little local mom and pop restaurants and other franchises and tons of options within Minneapolis, St. Paul, or any of the surrounding suburbs. If you're an adventure seeker and you like hiking, there's plenty of hiking trails within the state. Some of the greatest hiking within the state is going to be up towards the Duluth Superior. That is amazing hiking and camping up there. It's about a 4-hour, maybe 3-hour drive to Duluth, depending on where you're at in the metro, but that's not that bad of a drive to get to some amazing hiking and camping. So when it comes to entertainment, I mean, there's tons of options. It really is, a playground here. There's a lot to do depending on what you want to do, all right? Obviously, winter sports, if you're in the winter, then we have outdoor hockey, outdoor skating rinks, we have downhill skiing, we have downhill snowboarding, we have cross-country skiing, right? Those are gonna be things that you're only gonna be able to do during the winter, depending on how much snow we get. But even when we have bad years of snow, like we did this last year, there was still downhill skiing and downhill snowboarding, cross-country trails open. It was just a lot of obviously man-made snow, but you were still able to get out and enjoy those activities. So plenty of options here to do. I don't think you'll ever be bored if you're just able to get out and find different things to do and go explore. Number 4 on our list is going to be, what are home prices like in the state of Minnesota, especially the metro area, all right? We're gonna focus on just one county here, because obviously there's lots of different counties in the state. We're gonna focus on Hennepin County. That's where Minneapolis is located. That's where a lot of the suburbs are located. That's one of the largest suburb or largest county in the state, all right? Within Hennepin County, home prices are increasing and have continued to increase by 2 to 3% every single year for the last 10 to 15 years, all right? The median home price is gonna be around $382,000, $385,000, somewhere in that $380,000 range for a single family home, all right? That's gonna be the median. Obviously, you can go up from that, you can go down from that, right? But $380,000 is still very affordable when you look at it across the entire, country, the entire United States. Minnesota is still a very affordable place to live. Yes, I know what everybody says, you have high taxes, you pay for a lot of taxes. I understand that, all right? But I'm so happy because I don't have to worry about my first home being like it is in Denver, where it's $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 that needs tons and tons of work, all right? I can buy a pretty turnkey home for $380,000, maybe $400,000, that has a lot of things and amenities that I want right from the start, all right? That's really nice to me, all right? So home prices are strong. I think they're gonna continue to stay strong. There's nothing that's indicating that the market is cooling off yet. We're still seeing steady increase. We're still seeing multiple offers on homes. So, if you are a buyer, just be prepared that it is still competitive here, but you are gonna have a very strong return on your investment, in my opinion, because home prices are continuing to increase here. The last question is, hey, can I buy a home right now? Yes, obviously you can, all right? If you are traveling from out of state, wherever you are, we'll be able to make it work, all right? The first thing to do is you're gonna be able to reach out to me, whether you wanna email me or text me or call me. Let me know that you're thinking of making a move. Let's hop on a call. Let's talk about strategies. Let's talk about game plan. Let's talk about your worries. Let's talk about your questions. Let's talk about your goals. And let's put together a plan for you, all right? Whether you can even be here in the state or not, we're gonna be able to make it happen, all right? I've worked with tons of clients where I've been able to FaceTime them or Skype with them or take videos of the property and let you know what it looks like. And also, just so you know, I'm not the type of real estate agent that's gonna shoot a video and just talk about all the amazing things in the property just so that I can get a sale, all right? I really do wanna talk about the cons of the house, all right? My job, I see it in my eyes and in my mind, is looking for reasons not to buy the home, all right? Anytime you walk into a great home, you can see, yes, the kitchen's amazing, the backyard's great, the bedroom's great. That stuff sells on its own, all right? I don't have to pump you up about that. Obviously I will, right? But my main job, if you're in here in person or not, is to look at the home and say, hey, this is something I don't see all the time, or hey, this is a red flag that you need to know about. Might be a deal breaker for you, might not be, but my job is to, again, look for reasons why you shouldn't buy the home, all right? And I can promise you that's why my clients continue to work with me, because they like that honest and truthful process and experience versus always just talking about the positive. Yes, if the backyard is great, I'm gonna let you know. But also, if the roof is in need of repair, if the foundation is whack, if the utilities are old, if the furnace is old, whatever is wrong with the property, maybe there's a road assessment, whatever's going on, I want to make sure that you know about it before you move forward with the home, all right? So yes, you can buy right now. The first step is obviously reaching out to me, and let's talk about your game plan. Let's talk about the strategy, and let's make a path forward. Okay, that is it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope it shedded some light on some of the questions that I get asked when people are thinking of making a move. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was informative. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next video. If you have any more thoughts, questions, or comments for me in future videos, leave them down below. And until next time, guys, have a good one.